Hey everyone, as a kid, I used to like going to the fair, but you know what? One of the great musical pieces of all time was Scarborough Fair. And so you know what? Here's the riff from that, but I've done it in Zager notation. I call it the hidden Scarborough Fair in Zager. So coming up. Hey everyone, Paul here, Peasy Guitar, your virtual practice partner. And like I said in the intro, this is about Scarborough Fair, the basically that riff that's part of Scarborough Fair. It's a very, very pretty riff, and it's surprisingly simple, especially when you put it in Zager notation here. It's just two chords, and they're all very, very similar. So let's take a look at it in depth and let's learn it. This is just a high-level overview of the Zager Fingerstyle notation. Please refer to my video, Love Me Tender, for a more in-depth explanation. In the first figure, this is a Zager box. It's also akin to a measure of music. This box describes what you need to do with your right hand and your left. First, on the left side, this represents your strings on the guitar, 6 to 1, low E to high E. On the bottom, there are, in this case, 8 rhythm movements. Rhythm movements are analogous to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Denny Zager, he likes to keep it simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The bold A7 directs what you need to do for your left hand. In other words, play the A7 chord. The rest of the diagram is all about the right hand. For your right hand, your fingers are designated X for thumb, 1 for index, 2 for middle, 3 for ring. The pinky is typically not required, but if needed, it would be number 4. To start, form the required chord in the left hand, in this case A7. For the first rhythm movement, you are required to play 2 notes at the same time or harmonically. Zager calls this a stack. You pluck X, or your thumb, on string number 5. At the same time, you pluck finger number 3, your ring finger, on string number 2, the B string. After that, the next rhythm movement requires just a single note, finger number 3 on string number 2. Similarly, rhythm movements 3 and 4 are single notes using the prescribed fingers on the designated strings. Rhythm movement number 5 is another stack. This time, X is on the string number 6. Then rhythm movement number 6 follows, then a stack that does not use the thumb. Here it uses fingers 2 and 3. Rhythm movement number 8 is a rest. You don't play anything, but you count. Just let the notes ring. Then you go to the next box. Figure number 2, this is a typical box you would encounter in a full Zager arrangement. The string numbers are no longer listed, the rhythm movement numbers are no longer listed, and the word rest is removed, but a graphic still remains if required. Here you are required to form the DOS chord. OS? Open string. Denny uses the formal method to identify chords. Typically, there's an accompanying sheet with the required chord shapes to remove any confusion. Figure number 3 requests the open E7 chord, but it has 2 rests in the box. The fourth figure has an additional left-hand element that you must be aware of, the label. Please look at rhythm movement number 5. The C#3 is the instruction for your left hand, not your right, it's for the left hand. It is asking you to modify the chord grip, in this case the chord D open string, and the label wants you to play the note C# with your third finger on the indicated second string. Therefore, you need to know your fretboard, or at the very least, how to accommodate the labels for the current arrangement. Labels only live for a single rhythm movement. In this case, rhythm movement number 6 requires you to play the second string with your third finger on the right hand in the original grip. The fifth figure starts rhythm movement number 1 with a 4-fingered stack. Rhythm movement number 4, there's a label O. This means play the first string open. The next rhythm movement requires the second string to fret the note D with your pinky, or finger number 4 of your left hand. Rhythm movement number 7 has a stack, and string number 1 is played open according to the label. The sixth figure here has 2 interesting features on the labels. Rhythm movement number 1 has a label, so you must start out in a modified chord grip to what is called for. Rhythm movement number 5 is requiring the note F sharp to be played with the third finger on string number 1. In a typical A7 chord grip, that third finger normally has duties only on the string number 2. But the request here is to use finger number 3 and move it from string 2 to string 1 to cover the note F sharp. Remember, you have to recover the required chord grip or go back to the original chord grip so that for that third finger, because you will need it for rhythm movement number 7 back in the original position. The seventh figure here is to let you know that you can split the box or the measure into 2 or more distinct chords. In this case, rhythm movements number 1 and 2 is for the chord C, and rhythm movements 3, 4, 5, 6 is for the D chord. Please be aware, in this example, there are only 6 rhythm movements, better known as 3/4 time, rather than 8 rhythm movements or 4/4 time. Chord number 1 is an A sus13, finger number 2 on the D string, finger number 1 on the B string, and that's on frets 4 and 3 respectively. So that's the chord. And the other chord is an A suspended 2. So finger number 2 slides back towards the nut to fret number 2. And you put your ring finger down, finger number 3, on the G string. So that's, on the Zager notation, that's what you do with your left hand. It's going to be those 2 chords. So what do we do with our right hand? Well, with our right hand, that's the Zager notation here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing 5 strings. Strings 5 with our thumb, then the high E string, string number 1 with our ring finger, finger number 3, and then string number 3 with our index, then the thumb on the D string, and then string number 2 on the B string. So let's just do that simple finger pattern, and that's the same finger pattern throughout the entire exercise. So it's even slower. A few more times. So practice that finger pattern. So you get that finger pattern nice and steady. And then we do is we slide down and form the A sus2 and do the same finger pattern. So you just rock back and forth between those two. Oh, Paul, you said Scarborough Fair. I'm not hearing Scarborough Fair. If you have one of these things, a capo, and if you put that capo way up here on number 7 and do everything the same relative to the capo, you do 4, you do everything with your finger number 3 and finger number 1, 4 frets away and 3 frets away, but you do it up here. That's interesting. That kind of sounds. And you could just play that progression over and over and over again. It's a very soothing kind of progression. Hey everyone, so hopefully you enjoyed this quick little lesson here. Continuing down the Zager instruction method path here, which I am very, very, very much. I'm learning more things all the time, and hopefully that you like it too. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, hit the bell for notifications. And if not, if anything else, go listen to Simon and Garfunkel. They were good, they're tremendous. Paul Simon was an amazing guitar player, an amazing songwriter. But this right here, up here at the 7th fret, with, this finger pattern. Kind of cool. So keep practicing and I'll see you soon. Hey everyone. Up here is going to be a video that you might want to play next. Or down here is going to be a playlist that would be a good thing to do to get more practice along the same subject lines. So until then, play this one or play this one. It's up to you. Whatever you want.